I'm Jody Bliss, and I'm an Artist-Blacksmith. So this is Geraldine. This is my Say-Mak power hammer, and this was one of the first major tools that I bought when I decided I was going to try to make money at this. She is my workhorse and one of my favorite tools. When she goes down, the flow in the studio really stops until she's back up and running, so I try to keep her really happy. Some of the different things that she can do is, like you saw in the video, add texture to sheet. She can also draw out tapers and do all kinds of other cool stuff. So this is my baby right here. Another one of my favorite tools, and another one of the first ones that I got, is my clay Spencer treadle hammer. So that is over here. I've had this tool for about 12 years. You can use it in a lot of ways, so I'm told. The major way that I use it is to add really specific, like, decorative textures to my pieces. These are some of my favorite tools. I have probably 25 of them, but these 4 are the ones that I use the most. And if you take a look at my work, you'll start to recognize the teardrop and the little half moon and the dot in, like, everything. I think I like them because they're really feminine. So gas compressors. When I started my shop, I had a major choice to make between, do I do propane or natural gas? And I went back and forth and had a lot of different advice, and I decided to go with natural gas because I didn't need to deal with a giant propane tank. And I think it was the right choice. I never have to deal with filling propane tanks. I ran on just one of these compressors for like 12 years, and I just recently got the second one, and it has been amazing with this 4-burner forge. I wasn't able to get super duper hot with just one compressor once I went up from 3 burners to 4, so I made that upgrade, and now I can get super duper hot. Now I can get to forge welding in here. This is my CNC machine. This is made by a company called Fast Cut out of Kamloops, British Columbia, and they are fabulous. When I got this machine, I'd been in business for 1 year, and I really needed something. At this point, I didn't have any employees, and I needed something to step up the production in my shop, and so I got this CNC machine. One of the reasons that I love Fast Cut so much is, at this point in my career, I knew nothing about machines, and they are just super duper helpful. Like, they'll let me call them at any time of day and be like, hey, so I can't figure this out, and they'll talk me through it, and so that was super duper helpful. Most of my work starts out with a computer design, and then I cut the pieces on the CNC machine, and then they go back and they get forged in the blacksmithing area and then welded for assembly. That would be with the exception of, like, bar stock, but pretty much any sheet work that I do starts out on this machine. So this is not obviously a traditional blacksmithing machine, but for me, it's a really integral part of my artistic process. This was my first hammer. I got this probably 13 or 14 years ago. I bought it from David Norrie, but it's made by Jack Pine Forge. I started out in blacksmithing, apprenticing under David Norrie up in Berthoud, Colorado. So he is amazing, and there's some cool stuff going on at his studio still. I just purchased this maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I love this one. It has a really nice, like, small rounding hammer over here, nice flat hammer. And this one, this is a Brent Paley hammer. If you don't know about his hammers, they are like the most beautiful hammers in the world. This is really heavy, and I have to admit that I don't use it that much because it's really heavy. But if I have a really, really big sheet that I think I need that extra weight, I will use this, but I can swing this like 50 times and my arm is dead. So sounds like it's time for me to get a little bit smaller Brent Paley hammer. So this piece that I am standing in front of is one of my favorite of all time, and this is a headboard with matching side tables. This is leaving the shop next Thursday. I'm going to Hutchinson, Kansas, and you see these little prongs here. There's an echo back to my jewelry days. There's actually blown glass that sits in these prongs, but I've already delivered that to Kansas. So yeah, you can see a lot of the techniques that we use every day, a lot of tapers and ball ends and twists, some work with the treadle hammer in here, and then of course it's all welded for assembly. And